When he was just 3 years old, Ed Hajim was kidnapped by his father, driven across the country, and told his mother was dead. He was later abandoned by his father and bounced around foster homes and orphanages for years. But instead of giving up, he persevered. He became a Wall Street executive, a philanthropist, and a family man. It's an unbelievable story, and he's sharing it in his new memoir, On the Road Less Traveled, An Unlikely Journey from the Orphanage to the Boardroom. And he joins us live this morning. Ed, thanks for being with us.
Good morning.
It's almost like you can't believe this story, and I'm surprised you've taken this long to write it down and make it a book.
Well, when I was 18 years old, I decided to bury it, and it took me almost 55 years to be willing to handle it again. It was something I really couldn't handle, and I just buried it. When I went to college, I said, I'm not going to tell anybody about my background. But when I was 55 years later, when I became the chairman of the board of the school, they said, we've got to tell your story. So I sat down. My family also said, we've got to let the grandchildren and great-grandchildren know about Grandpa. So I started to write it. It took me 7 years because I think you find when you start writing things, you find that what you write down doesn't necessarily come through as you want it to. And you also want the reader to understand what you're doing. And it was a very difficult experience, but I think it's worthwhile because I'm hoping that young people who read this recognize that anything is possible.
So your dad kidnapped you. You lived a very difficult life as a kid. That would have really done a number on a lot of people, and they may never have recovered. So how did you persevere psychologically? What are the lessons that you learned out of that led you to success, where others would have been in deep trouble?
Well, I had a dream. I always felt that I could do better. There was more in there. The movies did something for me, too. Saturday afternoon was one of the few things that was a relief during the week. And you go there and on the silver screen, you would see people, that had a good life. They were, heroes at that point in time. But more importantly, I learned, even in the middle of the experiences, that the disadvantages I had became advantages. Once you go through difficult periods, you learn things. I was in between 15 and 20 different locations before I was 18. Eventually, you learn adaptability. You go to the next school. I was in 5 different Catholic schools during the war. And when you go to one school to the other, there's a rites of passage. And you learn that you can succeed in that rites of passage. Sometimes it's not simple. You also learn resilience. It's like a muscle. The more you use it, the more resilient you become. And of course, you do persevere, which is very important. And I think, though, that it was a couple of things. My father, although he abandoned me, always told me that I had a better life and that I was a great person. In fact, I could never convince him I ever did anything wrong. There are letters in the book that show, Dad, I'm really sometimes a bad boy. He would never accept that. And that sort of gave me a great deal of confidence that I really didn't deserve, but it helped.
Did you have one foster parent or one mentor along the way that really gave you a helping hand, or was this all self-motivation?
No, there was a Mrs. Robb, and I've never gone back to visit with her, but she cared for me. They had one son. She wanted a partner for her one son, and when I went to their home, they treated me just like their son, and that gave me a vision of what a family should be like. And that really helped an awful lot. I carried that for quite a while. There was warmth, there was love, there was interest, true interest, and that was very helpful. But I was very independent, and I really rejected most of my mentors, and that was very foolish of me. Somewhere in college, I started to realize that was not a good idea. And throughout my life, I've had wonderful mentors. People have really helped me, and one thing in my book that I learned by writing it was all the people that did help me and how they helped me.
So as a parent, help us. What is that line between always wanting to protect your kids and always trying to help them out and letting them fail and make their own mistakes? And the way you had learned from, difficult issues, you learned a lot from that and made you stronger. What advice do you have as a parent for that same approach?
You're right on. Of course, I live in a very different community than I did in those days, so I have a lot of, people who have done very well, wealthy parents, and they ask that question. And I really believe it's very important to have experiences where you're on your own, where you're independent. So what I recommend is if you're a wealthy parent, you can send your children to private schools and everything, wonderful. In the summertime, make sure they work and make sure, and I believe in Outward Bound and Knowles. I sent my 22-year-old grandchild to Knowles a couple times. One summer he spent 30 days in the rain in Alaska.
Wow.
He learned more during that period probably than all the schooling. He became close friends with the other fellows in the experience. So have experience, and it's working during the summertime.
Yeah.
I always just don't waste your summers. Take a job mowing lawn. Go to work at a hospital. When I was in college, I hitchhiked up to the St. Lawrence Seaway and got a job working the Seaway in a blasting crew because nobody wanted to work on a blasting crew. Lessons I learned there were just totally invaluable. So you just try to have as many experiences as possible. Don't waste those periods when you're not in school. Have experiences. And I would say for people that are comfortable, make your children somewhat uncomfortable for a period of time. My daughter spent a 6-week period in the Baja on a canoe trip with a group of other ladies in a Knowles experience. That taught her leadership. It taught her self-reliance. So I think those are the kinds of things that I recommend to people. If it doesn't come naturally, if you're not lucky enough to be poor and have troubles, make a few of them. Put your children into situations where, they have to be on their own.
Right.
I actually took my 14-year-old son down the Green River for 4 days. And when you're on a raft in the Green River and you sleep on the ground every night, it's really a great experience.
It gives you a good
find
perspective.
That, there's nobody there to protect you whatsoever.
Well, Ed, we appreciate you joining us. It's a fascinating story. Ed is participating in a virtual discussion of his book next Thursday evening. You can get the details at barbersbookstores.com, and you can also check out Ed's website listed there. Ed, have a great
Thanks, Ed.
weekend. Thanks.
Hey, thank you very much, and have a great day.
You too.
Time.